We often hear about successful people, successful actors such as Matt Damon, or successful athletes such as Jonny Wilkinson, who after they've won a really important match, or after they've, for example, won an Oscar, feel extremely depressed after that, somehow feel very empty. But why is it the case that chasing happiness actually makes us feel worse? The reason why this happens can be explained by a theory that in psychology is called the opponent process theory. And according to this opponent process theory, there are two different processes that occur at the same time. Anytime we have a strong emotional reaction, these two processes make sure that we don't feel emotions that are too strong for us to handle. And when it comes to something extremely great that happened, at first we feel extremely euphoric, extremely great, but this state in which we're extremely happy wears off very quickly. And then we feel worse than we did before for some time, and then the way we feel basically goes back to baseline. And that is because process A, this process that makes us feel extremely great in this case, it starts very quickly, but it also ends very quickly. And process B, the process that leads to us in this case feeling worse, it starts at the same time, but it doesn't start as quickly as process A. And it also doesn't end as quickly. And therefore, all in all, we feel very good at the beginning, but after that phase where we feel good, we tend to feel a little bad, and then our mood tends to go back to baseline again. And that explains why we feel after this extreme high of this big reward, why after that we feel miserable. But that's not all, because if we have the same kind of extremely positive experience again, what happens is that process A stays the same, however process B changes. The next time we then get this same extremely great reward, process B starts earlier than it did before. And the negative emotion also is stronger than it was the time before. And process B also takes longer to go back to baseline. And that is why, all in all, the more often we get the same kind of extremely great reward, the less we feel good in the beginning. Not because process A changes, but because process B starts earlier, and therefore, all in all, we don't feel as good in the beginning. And the phase after we feel great, but not as great as the first time, we feel worse than we did, because process B, this process that makes us feel bad, makes us feel worse overall, and this period in which we feel bad also lasts longer. So the more we get the same extremely great reward over and over again, the worse we tend to feel. Now, if you want to know more reasons why we shouldn't necessarily pursue happiness, why pursuing happiness makes us more miserable, you can watch this video here.